And good morning again. This is Ralph with the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. We'll be jumping into our topic right after this. And good morning. Let's see, we're going to be publishing this podcast on Friday, so happy Friday, end of the work week for a lot of people out there. And today we are covering a topic. I got a question. Somebody asked, what is meant by failing faster, and why is this helpful? And this question comes up in direct sales and network marketing and home-based business, but especially in the network marketing field, you hear this a lot. You know, people say, fail faster, fail faster, fail faster. Well, it seems counterintuitive. You know, why would failing faster be a good thing? I mean, we want to succeed, right? We don't want to fail. Well, this speaks to the mindset that we want people to develop, especially in network marketing, where when people are facing what they interpret as being rejection and they feel like they are failing, you actually do. You want to fail faster in your network marketing business. Now, why this is that when you are involved trying to make sales of any kind, you hear the word no a lot. Okay, some people may hear the word no 10 times before they get to their first yes. Some folks may hear the word no 20 times before they get to their first yes. And the problem that we see, especially in network marketing, is that people give up so quick in groups. I've seen people ask the question, well, not really even ask a question. They will just say, I've been told no 5 times, and I'm not sure I can do this anymore. And then they may say, okay, what am I doing wrong? And a lot of people in those groups will be saying, oh man, I'm sorry to hear this. You're having a bad day. I know the feeling. I don't know what you're doing wrong. And actually, the right answer to that question is, you're not doing anything wrong. Get out there and hear the word no 15 more times and see what happens in your business. And just get the mindset where you're going to hear the word no 20 times every day, and see where your business takes you in about 6 months. Because the thing is, when we hear the word no, a lot of people think, okay, I'm a failure. And actually, that's not accurate. You know, I said this in the previous podcast yesterday, but people are not going to be interested in everything that you have to sell. They're not going to be interested in everything you have to offer. And people are going to turn you down just because, you know, you're not right for them, or they don't feel like they're right for you, or they just don't need what you have to offer, or they think they don't need what you have to offer. And that's okay. It's not a personal reflection on you. You are not a failure. Zig Ziglar once said, failure is an event. It is never a person. Yeah, and you may feel like you're failing every time you hear the word no, but that's just part of the game, really. That's just an integral part of the business. There is a book that I highly recommend, actually 2 books that I highly recommend to anybody that is in any kind of a sales position, and especially in network marketing. And the first one is by Andrea Waltz and Richard Fenton, Go for No. Yes is the destination and no is how you get there. And they lay out that philosophy that every salesperson in every industry hears the word no a lot in a single day. And that's just the way it goes. And what you need to do is you need to learn to accept that you're going to be told no a lot and welcome that, because that's okay. And the more no's that you hear, the faster that you fail, in other words, the better off you are going to be in the long run. Now let's go back to that example that I gave in the group where I saw somebody say, I have been told no 5 times today. I don't know if I can hear the word no again. What can I do? Well, this probably is not what that person really wants to hear. But the correct answer would be, you're not doing anything wrong. Get out there and fail faster. Okay, you think you failed because you've heard the word no 5 times today. Or some people, it may be 5 times this week. And they set the bar for themselves really low, and they just feel like they can't be told no anymore. They just feel like quitting. Well, if you think that you're failing because you're hearing the word no a lot, you just need to set your mindset to where I am going to fail faster. And again, going back to that person in that Facebook group, get out there and hear the word no 15 more times. In other words, fail faster. Don't just take some time out and complain on Facebook about how bad everything is, how bad your life is. No, get out there, back into the field, prepare yourself, hear the word no 15 more times. And after you've heard the word no maybe about 20 times, you will finally get to the point where you're hearing your first yes. But you see, in business, in home-based business, in network marketing, nobody starts out knowing perfectly how to run their business, how the business is run. We get started a lot of times not really knowing what we're getting into, which I do advise people that want to join network marketing teams, do your research, get to know what you're getting into. But a lot of people, they'll get started and they'll feel like, they really don't know that much about the company. They're not a corporate expert about, the company. And you don't really need to be a corporate expert. What you need is you just need to know enough to know that this is solid, that this is legit, that, there is a learning curve, so you're going to have to kind of learn as you go, and just be prepared to learn as you go and to go ahead and fail. But it's better actually to jump in once you know it's a good company, once you know it's a good offer, once you know that you like it and it speaks to you. It's better to get started without really knowing everything than not getting started at all. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make. They will just fall into the trap of analysis paralysis. And it's like, who was it? Dan Pena told the story about a guy that he was talking to. And Dan Pena, for those of you that don't know, he used to call himself the $6 billion man, and now I think he's been given a few pay raises. I think he's now the $1 trillion man, something like that. But he is an extraordinary entrepreneur that really got started back in the 1940s, and he does a phenomenal job in coaching people. And he told the story about a college kid that he was coaching. And this college kid, he didn't want to fail fast. He wanted to learn, he wanted to study, he wanted to read. And what Mr. Pena related in his story is that he worked with this kid for a while and then asked the kid, okay, after about a few months, what have you done? And the guy came back and said, well, I've read this book. I've read this book. I've read this book. I've studied this. I've studied your course. I've read this book. I've read this book. And, he was just going through the list of books that he has read and the amount of research he had compiled and all that. And Mr. Pina just said, I'm not interested in how many books you've read. I want to know what action you've taken. And at that, the kid was silent. He'd done all this research. He'd done research and more research and more research and more research and read every book he could get, studied the lessons, studied the courses, never took any action. And the Buddha once said, knowing without doing is like not knowing at all. And the more that we allow ourselves to get caught in that analysis paralysis, the slower we are going to be in getting started, if we ever get started at all. And so what a lot of entrepreneurs have noted from their own personal experience and then watching the people that they bring into their team, watching their experiences, they have determined that it's better to get started knowing just a little bit. Knowing enough that you feel confident in the company, that it's legit, that it's been around for however long it's been around, and that they haven't been drummed out of existence yet. It's withstood the test of time, and to know enough about the company, enough about the products, enough about the services to get you started. And it's better to get started with an imperfect knowledge than it is to wait until your knowledge is perfect before you get started. Because, especially in this day and age, things tend to change so rapidly. If your information is like a couple of years out of date, you need to come back up to speed in a lot of things. Things are just changing that rapidly. A lot of the sales trainings and stuff that was good back in 2015. It's now outdated, so you really need to be looking at trainings that are, were made in, this year and not last year or the year before that or the year before that. So if you're waiting to get started until you have an absolutely perfect knowledge base, that's really the wrong move, because you will never have a perfect knowledge base. But if you get started with the mindset that you are going to fail, okay, that's a given. Failure in the beginning is a given. It's okay. You're going to strike out with some people. That's okay. You're going to give a few presentations that suck. Okay, that's okay, because you're going to be learning from your mistakes. You're going to be learning as you go. And if you do this enough, you will be doing it so often that you will start to get better at doing it. Your confidence level will come up. Your skill levels will come up. But you'll never get your skill level up if you're sitting back doing nothing and just waiting to become perfect before you get into the business or the industry. So the reason why we hear that phrase, fail faster, is because we want to overcome this tendency that a lot of people have, that they feel like they have to be perfect before they get started. You don't need to be perfect to get started. You just need to get started. Once you find a company that you like, once you find an opportunity that you like, once you find something that you love, you just get in there. You just get going. You do your primary research, but you don't fall into the trap of analysis paralysis. you get out there and you expect, okay, I'm going to hear the word no a lot. I'm going to flub up some presentations. I'm going to flub up some YouTube videos. I'm going to screw up a few podcasts. But you know what? That's okay. Because I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail fast. I'm going to learn from my failures. And then I'm going to succeed. But the thing we have to keep in mind is that nobody starts out in the very beginning hearing people say, yes, 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 oh, that's great, I want to join that company, I want to join your team, that's perfect, that's wonderful, oh, you're the best person on the whole planet, I would follow you anywhere, I would follow you to hell and back, because I have that much faith in you. Most people do not hear that in the very beginning. You may get there eventually. I don't know, you'd have to be a super salesperson to be hearing praise like that. But no, when we first get started out in sales, in network marketing, in business, we hear the word no a lot. People just, they're not ready. They don't want our product. They don't want our service. They don't need our service. So hearing the word no is perfectly okay. Does not reflect on you as a person. Does not reflect upon you as a salesperson. It's just the person that you're talking to saying, I'm not ready for that. I don't have a need for that. I'm not interested, but thank you. And that's just part of the game, part of the way business is done. You take your offer, you present it to another person as best you can, and if they say no, fine, go on to the next person. And if they say no, fine, go on to the next person. And if they say no, fine, go on to the next person. And fail your way as fast as you can. Fail your way upwards if you feel like being told no is failure. And actually it's not, but the way we interpret it is, okay, this is failure. Especially if you don't have the confidence, if you feel like you're not doing a good job with your presentations, you may feel like you're failing every time you hear the word no. But when you start hearing the word no a lot, just set your mind that, okay, you want to hear the word no again, and you want to hear it faster. And you don't want to take time out to sit on your pity pot and complain to your friends on Facebook, I heard the word no 5 times today, or 5 times this week. I don't think I can take hearing the word no anymore. What do I do? Well, what you do in that situation, if you feel like a failure because you've heard the word no a few times, fail faster. In the book, and I believe this was Go for No, yes is the destination, no is how you get there. And there's a companion book to that, Go for No for Network Marketing. But I believe this was in the first Go for No book. Richard Fenton tells the story about an insurance company that had a slack in sales. A lot of their sales staff, they were not making sales like the company thought they should be. So they brought in an outside expert to look at their sales team and then tell the company what they were doing wrong so they could fix it and start making sales. And this outside firm came in, they took a look at the sales department, they analyzed the situation, and in no time at all they figured out the problem. And they went to the owners, the management of the insurance company, and they said, okay, we figured out your problem. Your salespeople just need to start making more contacts. And that's it. They need to start talking to more and more people. And the management of that insurance company, they didn't like a simple answer and a simple solution like that. They thought, common human nature, we think that things ought to be more complicated than that. We like to complicate things. We like to make things more complex. So the management of the insurance company, they protested. They said, no, the answer can't be that simple. There's something else. Go in there. You're the outside company. Analyze it. Give me a better answer than that. And the outside firm, the guy doing the audit, he said, no, that this is the answer. Your people just need to start talking to more people, start making more contacts. And they more or less said, okay, prove it. So the guy said, okay, give me your worst salespeople. I'm going to send them out door to door, tell them just to knock on as many doors as they can, and we'll see how many sales they make. And so the company agreed. And so what the analyst did, gathered together the sales team that he was given, and he told the people, okay, we're going to send you out into neighborhoods where you don't know the people, they don't know you. We want you to knock on as many doors as you can, and when they answer the door, just ask them, you don't want to buy life insurance, do you? And with that lousy intro, that's not really the best introduction when you're going door to door. You don't want to buy my product, do you? And he said, use that opening line, knock on as many doors as you can, and by the end of the day, come back to the office, and we'll see how many sales you've made. And what they found out is that when they sent people out knocking door to door, and just leading off with that terrible opening line, you don't want to buy life insurance today, do you? They found that they got the door slammed in their face a lot. Once the people heard life insurance, me buy life insurance? Hell no, and they'd slam the door. But what they found out is if the person shrugged off that rejection and just knocked on the next door, and the next door, and the next door, and the next door, and heard the word no, 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 door slam, door slam, door slam, if they heard that enough, eventually they would get to the point where they would knock on the door, ask the person, you don't want to buy life insurance today, do you? And they would come across a person that would actually say yes. And they would get invited in. And then they would make their presentation. And then the person would say, okay, this is nice, I need to think about this. Or the person would say, oh, this is great. Where do I sign? I do need more life insurance, so yeah, where do I sign? And I'd like to try this out. How do we do this? And by failing faster, knocking on more doors, making more personal contacts, talking to more and more and more people, even the worst salespeople could make sales. And that's what we mean by failing faster. Get out there, hear the word no a lot. If you feel like you're sucking in the beginning, learn from your mistakes, build up your confidence level. Eventually, after a little while of doing it, you will begin to get your mojo. You will begin to develop your own personal sales style. You'll become a lot more confident. And once you start hearing the word yes, you will get a confidence boost and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And then the funny thing is that once you hear the word yes once, you get your confidence level built up, you get your mojo going, and the next person that you talk to, you begin speaking with a lot more confidence. People pick up on that, and you'll start hearing yes more and more often. But before you start hearing the word yes, you have to be hearing the word no many, many times. And this is another thing that kind of confuses and frustrates some people. Some people will have the experience that they'll be going through their warm list of customers, and they'll be told the word yes in the beginning. And they'll think, wow, this is easy. I'm such a good salesperson. I'm really doing great. I am going to give this my all and just talk to as many people as I can, and this is just such an easy job to do. But what those people will experience usually is once they run out of their warm market list and they start talking to people that they don't know and people that don't know them, then they'll start hearing the word no quite a bit. And then that initial feeling that they got in the beginning after being told yes early, it will change to one of despair, and they'll think, oh my God, I was doing so good in the beginning, and now I suck. What am I doing wrong? What is wrong with this picture? I don't know. I just don't have what it takes. I guess I'll quit. And the thing is, no, failure is something that everybody experiences in every line of work. We all make mistakes. We all get in there sometimes not really knowing exactly what we're doing. But if we don't let a little thing like ignorance stand in our way, we can actually learn as we go, take these minor defeats, these temporary setbacks that we all experience in life, set them behind us as fast as we can, get back up on that horse and start riding again. See, that's the other thing. A lot of people, an old saying from the horse riding days, if you get kicked off your horse, get right back on top of that horse and try again. And the more that you face your failures with that mindset, the faster you are to bounce back and get right back in the saddle again and get busy and get working, the faster your success is going to come. But if you sit there on the ground in the dirt, wallowing in your own self-pity, thinking, I got kicked off that horse, I am no good, I can't do this, I don't want to do this anymore, the slower and slower and the less likely it is going to be that you are going to find success. And if you do find success, you won't find it as quickly. The fast way to any kind of success is just develop the attitude to fail fast and move from one failure to the next failure to the next failure with the same amount of enthusiasm, and just learn as you go and take the no's that are going to come and just tell yourself, okay, I've heard 5 no's, 15 more no's, and I will probably hear the word yes. And you may hear the word yes after 10 no's, or 20 no's, or 30 no's. But the same principle applies. We want to hear the word yes, but usually we have to navigate our way through a bunch of no's before we get to that yes. So become willing to hear the word no with enthusiasm, and just quickly go from one no to the next no, to the next no, to the next no, and then eventually you will hear the word yes. But the more no's you go through, the faster you will be to hearing the word yes. So yeah, failing faster. It seems counterintuitive, but it actually is a good thing. If you're willing to put up with a little bit of rejection, if you're willing to hear the word no a lot, if you're willing to learn from your mistakes and keep pushing forward, then the idea of failing faster is actually a good recipe for success. So yeah, become willing to fail. People who are afraid of failing rarely find success. So yeah, be prepared to fail fast, fail quickly, and learn from those experiences, and just move through all that until you start finding your success. And so yeah, fail fast and find your success a lot more quickly. If you just sit around moaning about how badly you failed, then you're probably not going to get to that success point very quickly, or you may never get there at all. So, fail fast. It actually is a good thing. And set your mindset to hear no an awful lot. And if you set your mindset to the point where you're going to hear the word no 20 times every day, and you're cool with that, you are absolutely cool with that, then you've got the mindset to become a top producer in any industry. That's all for today. This is Ralph signing out. We're going to close out today with a little song, Doing What I Do Best by Mark Cook. Catch you all in the next podcast. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask pertaining to home-based business or network marketing or anything along those lines, you can contact me through my main website at ralphlindy.com. I got a little contact box there. And go ahead and shoot me your questions. I love to answer them. So that's all for today. Thanks for dropping by. Let's close out with this song, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
To play my song, don't need no advice on what you feel is wrong. Doing what I do best, trying to find the sound. Don't expect you to understand, just try not to bring me down. Just another quiet night as I head from town to town. Highway keeps calling me, there's no time to settle down. The music's in my soul, feelings I can't let go. Don't try to stop me now, I just gotta let it flow. You've been saying what's right for me ever since the day we met. Why can't you see the light that no one's changed me yet? You got a lot to learn, if you think you can change me now, you best get off the case before I show you how. What I do best, here to play my song. Don't need no advice on what you feel is wrong. Just do what I do best, why can't you understand? No woman gonna change me now and make me a better man. You've been saying what's right for me ever since the day we met. Why can't you see the light that no one's changed me yet? You got a lot to learn. Town. Highway keeps calling me, there's no time to settle down. Doing what I do best, here to play my song. is gone.